What's going on, Eternal Age? This is Nolani Visuals. I'm joined today by a very special guest. His new album, Before World of Pink, is out now on all platforms. He's also dropped 2 new singles to start 2026, Wicked and One Kind. iStormo.
Hey man,
Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
First interview. There you go. Good start.
Let's do it.
I guess we'll start at the beginning. Like, who are you and what do you do?
I'm iStormo. I'm a recording artist from Brooklyn, New York. A producer, creative of all sorts, I like to say.
Absolutely.
Recently, I've been into directing, so
Sure.
hopefully when I see some shit,
Get something and everything. Get a
yeah,
little bit of everything.
facts.
Yeah. How did you start making music? How did you get into this? Like, where did this all begin for you?
I would like to say it began in 2 points. In 2016, that's when I first started like writing music down and just inspired. My friend named Edwin, he was getting into the newer artists that were coming out around the time. And he just kind of like encouraged me. I think I really found it like in myself to like start writing music, but then seeing him do it as well, it kind of was like a cool thing for us to do in our like downtime. And then around 2018, I would say was when I started really like recording music. I started making music on my phone on GarageBand.
Absolutely. And who were some of those earliest inspirations for you, like listening to different artists? Who was it that you were into?
So in 2016, that was really life-changing, bro. That experience, like being alive and just being aware of the artists that was coming out at the time. That's when I really first started getting into like wanting to do music because of them. And it was Lil Yachty, seeing him, Lil Uzi, early X, just like 2016. Like the world was even like really bumping X like that back in the day. At this point in time, like he was like about to be like the biggest artist in the world. So just like seeing him at them early stages, they just looked so free and what they rapped about and how they looked, they just had this energy about them. And I was like, bro, I gotta be a part of that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And then I would say in 2018, because this is when I like started recording music, I started rapping on Splurge type beats. There's an artist named Splurge and he was rapping on these type of beats and he had no melody. It was just straight drums and just straight punchlines and he was just so far. And that was really my early sound back in the day, just like punchlines and straight drums. So
that's fine. I remember getting into video and like finding Premiere and the editing software, and it's just, this whole world just opens up to you. Do you remember that first song you made? Like, do you remember like really getting into it and like what that moment was like?
Yes, I do. Yeah, 100%. So back in 2018, I was living in a shelter. I just had moved to New York in 2016, like the end of 2016, and I was just staying at this hotel. And I remember it was a hotel shelter, like me and my mom, just literally like a one room. I think we shared like a big bed or some shit like that. And then we had like a bathroom. And then I remember hearing a beat. It was the Drip or Drown. It was actually Drip or Drown, and the beat was just so hard. It's by Gunna. And I was like, I don't know, it moved something in me like, bro, I'm trying to hop on that beat, bro. Yeah. So then I looked up. I found out about GarageBand and it was like on the iPhone, like you didn't have to like have this like fancy elaborate ass studio to make music. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I got my mom's phone. I played Drip or Drown, the beat, the instrumental off her phone and just recorded into my phone on GarageBand. And then I remember just putting in the iPhone headphones and just literally taking it because I didn't know you can like punch in, like say one line at a time. Okay. So I ended up rapping the shit the whole fucking way and it was just really lit. Like, I don't know if it like you said, like open up a whole world for you.
Was your song on top, or like did you write a song?
I did write it down.
Yeah.
I didn't know about like punching in at all.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't even think about freestyling, so I just wrote down like a couple bars, maybe like 12 bars, and just literally said that shit.
I thought it's crazy looking back on now, right?
I got everything.
Production you've been doing.
Literally, facts. Bro, I got everything. Yeah. Like all the songs that I first made, like still in my phone. I have them on my like archive SoundCloud page. So like if anybody want to go peep, they can literally just go here and see the journey progression from 2018, like November, to about right now, to current. Yeah, whenever somebody gonna watch this, I'm still be making music. So. Yeah,
I was remember when I met you in Hearts. You sent me Geek on the Beat and Goats. Those are the first 2 like songs I heard, and I was like, yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even till then, like you see the progression.
Yeah, it's probably more. Yeah.
Shit crazy.
So where did the name iStormo come from? Like, how did you come up with that?
Okay, so the name iStormo. My first name was Stormo. I'm not gonna spill the beans on that first. Like right now, I think after we come back from like Rolling Loud or something, we'll do another interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as an iStormo though, there was just hella Stormos like on Spotify. Like I go search like my name. so many people pop up. So I wanted a name that was unique to me and a name that a lot of people didn't have, and it would be easier to be searchable. So I was studying like magic at the time, and this artist, no, not this artist, this magician named Peter J. Carroll. He was studying. He made books. I think like the Psychonaut and like Liber Null, whatever, about chaos magic, and these are like big books in like the community, and like everybody recommends these books. So while I'm reading the books about it, he ends up talking about a practice called chaos magic, and the word I am, he felt like it was really redundant, and you're basically just saying I twice. And in magic, you're trying to be like direct and as concise as possible, like really get into the root of things, so your intention can like come true. So while I'm looking for a new name and then learning about this, it kind of resonated with me, and I kind of just, instead of saying like I am Stormo, I was like iStormo, right? To put it together like iStormo. So I wanted my name to be like more intentional, like more intention based, and like really connects with me as direct and to the point as possible, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, this became iStormo. And then when you look it up, it's unique. You don't see no other iStormo. Just pretty much fit. Yeah. I was actually going to change it. In the future, I was going to go back to Stormo. But like the sound that I'm making right now, you haven't even heard it yet, but it's for version 4 of Word of Pink. Okay. Like that sound like literally sounds like my name. So I feel like I'm going to just keep the name, honestly.
That's fine. So you kind of talked about, making those first couple songs. Was there a moment when you realized like this is what I want to do in my life? Like this is what I want to be doing for a living?
100%, bro. Like from the very beginning. Like
really? That first song even you're like, this is what I want to do?
Not even then, like when I was writing down raps, bro.
Okay.
Like I was in it was 2016. Everyone had put me on a Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
And I remember he just inspired, like Yachty inspired me, bro. I was the only person living in Birchville, Delaware, going to school with red hair. Like I literally dyed my hair red and all that. Like Yachty really influenced me, and just the culture of rap and hip hop and just like the lifestyle was really always gravitated towards me. And I know that they're in this position based on like their music. Like rappers, they have different types of like incomes and stuff, but they're really in the position because their fans obviously streaming their music and they're getting bread. Yeah. So I just felt like, since I'd seen the lifestyle, I wanted to be a part of like making music and stuff, I already knew what I was gonna do with my life at 13 years old. Yeah, it's crazy.
So you moved out to LA to pursue music. Can you talk about kind of going from those first couple songs to like, hey, I'm gonna move out there and really like make this happen? Mm-hmm. Like, what was that like?
That's so like I said, I started making music in 2018. Dropped my first song on SoundCloud. 2019 in January 3rd. And then I'm out in LA 2021. It's like 2 years later, bro. Okay. And that journey to that point was just me thinking like, bro, I gotta get out to LA. Like I just was always hearing about it in rap songs. I remember like playing GTA and just seeing Los Angeles and California. You see it in movies all the time. It just looks so exciting, like this mystery place that you want to be in. And you always hear these stories about it, like just watching the X and Trippie Redd on like Melrose with like a whole bunch of fans just talking and shit. Like they just, I don't know, they just kind of instilled that coolness about it in me. And I'm like, bro, I gotta go over here. So just being able to travel and live in LA for about, I lived there for about 2 months. And I remember just going there like on and off. Like I would be there for like a week at a time. And like a couple days at a time. I had work and shit, so I can only be there for a little bit.
You work out there or over in New York?
I was living in Delaware at the time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was living in Delaware. That's when I first started going out to LA. So just all those times just accumulating. I was in a position where we had got evicted from our crib, and I was in this transitional period where I had a time where I didn't really have an obligation like pay rent, and I just had lost my job too. So I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm just go out, live in LA. I think the plan was for me and Pax ended up going out in LA because we had got invited to be, we had like media passes to go to the show called Strong Music Festival in Las Vegas. And Yachty was performing. We got to be backstage with like Lil Yachty, Trippie Redd, Lil Tecca, Cash Dummy, Ken Carson, like that shit. Like I remember being like, just cause of Ken.
In that era too.
Literally, like they was, bro, what? That shit was crazy. So we got invited to that show, and this was 2 days before we got evicted, before we had to literally leave, and we ended up Pax ended up coming with me. We went to New York. We landed in New York. Stayed there for like a night, and then back on a plane to LA in the morning.
Wow.
And then we just stayed in LA for. We wasn't really supposed to live out there, but we just ended up staying out there, like just literally staying out there. It was cool.
That's crazy. So you met a lot of artists out there. You collabed with, young Chris. You were at shows with a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like, kind of getting into that, underground scene back then? Like, what was that experience like?
So, I would say that show was surreal. Like, it was. I would say the trips that I had out there are the ideal trip that every artist like would love to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it was falling in my motherfucking lap. Like I just felt hella lucky, like being in the room and working with the people I was working with. And I'm telling you, like, I just went from watching this shit on my phone, because the underground scene went to a down spot, and this was 2021. It was about to literally rise. So I remember watching like Our Generation Music. They wasn't even like, they was just like vlogging the scene, because the scene was just starting to buzz. So I remember just watching it. Like, oh snap, like underground pop, and just learning about every artist, like back to back. You had like Cash Dummy, Baby Santana, Young Chris, SSG Kobe. Just seeing all these people on my phone and just discovering and listening to their music. To a month later, being invited to go to the Box Fest and literally be in the room with them. I'll talk about that later.
I didn't realize it was a month after. That's insane.
Really,
a month? Like watching those people like on stage with them.
Yes.
30 days.
I'm like, what the? That's what I'm saying. It's just surreal. Working with Young Chris though. It was a bittersweet experience. I like to describe it, because the story between that, I remember living in Delaware, 2021. This was right before Young Chris was like really about to hit like the peak of his career, and I just remember being in a car in Delaware. I just had decided, me and Rocket were making music, but we had like split. He had like stopped making music for a time, and I was focusing on my solo work. And I just remember making a video to Young Chris' song in a car, and he basically reposted it, and that was the first time I ever got acknowledged by any rapper, like on the underground level, or just like in general. And it felt like pretty special to me. I was like, oh, it's not like this shit crazy. And I remember one time just paying attention to Chris, looking at his like stories and shit. He posted that he was doing verses, like he was selling verses and shit. I'm like, all right, bet I'm trying to get Young Chris feature. I remember putting together the songs for Remember, which is my first solo album. Yeah. And I remember, I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty cool to have like Chris on the album. So I ended up hitting him up. He like, oh, verse 150. So I end up spending the bread.
That's insane. That's such a crazy story.
Yeah, literally, I end up spending the bread. I go ahead and make a song called Speed Race, and I wanted them on it. It was a BK the Ruler type beat. End up sending him the motherfucking the song back. Nigga never did the verse.
Really?
He never did the verse. He never replied. He never did the verse and none of that, bro. I remember just texting him like, "That's what he gonna do. He gonna do it." Never texted. I'm like, damn, nigga, just scammed me for 150 beans, bro. Yeah. And then how we got to Wizard of Oz, I was still, even though he scammed me, I was still bumping his music. I'm not gonna lie. And then I ended up just keeping up with him, just watching his stories and shit. And one day he posted that he's doing verse. He's sending out a verse. Like he's selling a verse for like $300 over verse. I'm like, let's just try this again. I don't know why. Something just told me to go try it. So I ended up hitting him up. He didn't even acknowledge what just happened. Mm-hmm. I guess he just moved on. I ended up paying him like, I'm talking about like the scam. He didn't even acknowledge that he scammed me. But he ended up sending me the verse. He could have just gave it again for 300 because I sent him, I think maybe I sent him half this time. And then he sent it and I sent the other 150. And I remember just recording Wizard of Oz, just being hella frustrated because I could not get the words right. I could not get the verse to sound like how I wanted to. And the verse to me, his verse at the time was like peak, bro. Like his shit was just
still a fire song.
His shit was hard, and I'm like, I cannot have this song where he's overshadowed me. Like I wanted to make the verse better than his verse. And I just remember just days going by and me just feeling frustrated. And then one day I got the verse right. There's a verse right here on Wizard of Oz. And I just remember initially playing it out the DAW from my computer, which is like, I was just still literally recording on GarageBand, but on my MacBook at the time. I remember playing it for the people around me, and they just going crazy. I'm like, bro, this gotta be the verse, this gotta be the one. So I ended up dropping the song. Actually, before I even dropped the song, I ended up finished making the song. I'm like, all right, then I'm gonna put this on my album. And then that same week that I was about to drop the song, right? Still keeping up with Chris. I go to a story, he's reposting I think you can see what's happening. He's reposting songs that he was a feature on, and he's reposting them on SoundCloud and reposting them on his Instagram. Yeah. And I just go look. I'm like, okay, bet. Let me go check out the song that just got reposted. I go hear it, and it's the verse he sold me for Wizard of Oz with the different rapper.
Oh, no way.
Yes, and I just was mad tight. Like looking at it now, I'm not as mad about it anymore. But at that time, I was like, this can be my moment, because his fan base was like engaged as fuck, and I felt like the song is gonna be like one of the biggest songs that I was gonna make, which it is. But like I thought it was gonna like do way more, and I feel like the original song low key overshadowed it. I remember just texting Chris like, "Yo, what's up? Like, why you selling me the same verse like you sold somebody else?" And I'm texting that other guy too, and we ended up talking. He was mad about it too, and he was kind of telling me not to drop it, but then I was like, "Bro, I paid for this." He's like, "Yeah, you can just go drop it, whatever." Chris never hit me back, and then I ended up dropping the song that Friday, and I just kind of felt like the song got overshadowed, and it didn't get as much because I looked at the other song that they dropped. It ended up hitting like 1 million on like SoundCloud and Spotify, and Chris never ended up reposting the song, and he didn't repost it on his SoundCloud either. So all the traction that you see all the traction you see really on Spotify is like organic traffic. Like I didn't promote that song that much either when it first came out.
It's crazy. So you're out in LA, you're doing all these shows with all these artists. Like, is there one moment that stands out as just like the craziest moment?
Crazy moment, I would say Box Fest 2. So I Love You Crisis, that's a Young Chris producer. He's seen him and Trey, which Trey is his manager or was his manager back in the day. And they seen us in LA just backstage with like Cash Down Me, Made in Tokyo, one of the activists, and Ty Fontaine. We were just backstage chilling, and just being online on the internet, like you just end up seeing it because we had like, we were just following each other. And they invited me based on the fact that I was out here like putting in work. I was really doing what they were doing because they were on the same stuff we were doing. They're going to LA, make a name for themselves. They ended up inviting me to stay at their Airbnb. So I ended up flying out there. My bro Pax came with me too. And I just remember landing. I was like, bro, I knew this moment about to be crazy. They invited us to go to Box Fest with them. And getting to the B&B, was chilling with Easy Cody Lee. He's an upcoming underground artist right now. Like, he's going crazy. He's making a name for himself. EXO was there, which is another rapper, producer. Christ was there. I was there. Pax was there. Just the first night, we was just chilling, networking with each other. And then the next day, I got invited to do a music video for my song Marvelous. Same day by a director named Stream. He has a brand called Out of This World Brand. Yeah, that's the name of it. And then we just was shooting a music video for it. And then a guy just runs up to us and he like, yo, what's your name? What you do? And it ends up being Ernie, which ends up being my manager.
No way.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, wow.
He's on his way to work. And he just said, fuck it, like he just gonna be late for work. And we networked with him. We told him to pull up to Box Fest. Later on, we put up the Box Fest. It's late. Like, I don't know how we late, bro. We missed like a couple performances. But Young Chris' song is playing, and everybody going crazy in the crowd, bro. And we just standing outside. This is the person that we mainly came to see. And I just remember Blood and the Leaves playing, and everybody just screaming in there, lit. And we kind of feel bad that we're missing it. But we end up, I don't know why I was taking so long to get in that damn door, bro. But we end up getting in. Young Chris getting on the stage. He daps us up. This is the first time I've seen Chris, like, in person. And he just takes us to the artist room.
You met him before that?
I didn't meet him before that.
Oh, wow, okay.
We end up going to the artist room, and it's like on the second floor, and you can see like the whole venue from this like little room. And I remember looking out the window, watching DC the Dawn perform. But then I take a closer look, and I look in front of me, and it's SSG Kobe just watching DC the Dawn perform. And I whispered to Pax, I'm like, yo, that's SSG Kobe, bro. And then Pax started like low-key freaking out. And then I start looking around me, it's like Chulo, Only Bino, Sad Frosty, RP Sad Frosty. Kid Trunks was in there. Slump Sixes, like if you tapped in the 2021 scene, bro, you know like these people like what's the people to be around. And it was just crazy, like I said, from like looking at these people on the phone and wanting to be in these rooms to actually being in the room with these people. It was life changing, I say, and it just like opened my eyes. And then I remember I looked to the right and I see like Ayo Hakeem doing a vlog for Our Generation Music. He ends up like putting a camera on Chris, and he put the camera just solely on me. And I just remember, like, I was just freaking out again, like, damn, why to be in Our Generation Music vlog? Like, this is a part of the culture, like, this is part of history. And then I remember going down the steps, DC the Don passing me, and then he like he didn't say nothing, but just seeing DC the Don, like I just was a fan of him because he was dropping like weekly on like Fridays, like DC Fridays, whatever they used to call it. And just seeing him in person, that nigga tall as hell, bro. Just being around all these people and like at this degree, like backstage with them, it was just life changing. I remember going to watch all these artists, like SSG Kobe. I was on the stage with him, and I remember as soon as he got off the stage, he just came up to me. I don't know why, but he just ended up dapping me up. Like, I was the first person, he just dapped me up, and then photographers came out of nowhere just taking pictures. And then you see the fans just staring at us, and they like, who is that? Like, who's he with?
Yeah.
It just brought attention to me, bro. I don't know. That shit was just cool. And then later on that night, I was on the stage with a whole bunch of artists like D Savage and shit too was there. And then it was the last set of the night was Autumn. 20 Uzi was just performing. And I remember he had like all these people from the artist room on top on the stage. And it was P&B Rock. I remember looking behind me, and P&B Rock just behind me, just like turning up. And I did a double take, and he looked like he waiting for me to talk to him. But I just didn't. I don't know. I guess I was starstruck. He was the only person I was starstruck really to speak to that night. And that's what I'm saying. And I was like, I didn't get the chance to talk to him to get like some knowledge and some game from him. And I kind of just feel bad about not being able to talk to him because you never really know how much time you got. And it's like, just take advantage of every, like, even if that, like, I didn't care if the opportunity, I meant that interaction was going to get me somewhere in my career. Like, I could have just been a person and, like, just talk to him. Because he's a person at the end of the day, too. Yeah. But then, after all that, we end up leaving Box Fest. We did an interview with Imwell from OGM. He ended up interviewing us, just having us talk about our experience with Box Fest. Then we ended up leaving back to the B&B. And the whole time, they set up an after party. Oh, wow. And it was in our B&B. No so way. Then you had the Box Boys who just threw the show, Gio and Get Here. They put up to the B&B. Easy Cody Lee obviously was there. SSG Kobe, there was like freestyling and shit in the living room. Only Bino was there. Chulo was there. And just had Young Chris was there. Just had all these people in the room just on a. So I was already backstage with them on this level, but then it's like you remove all the people away and all the fans and all the shit like that, and you just come back and be on like a house level, like it just like a house for like a kickback. It just felt crazy, bro.
That's so many staples from that era too, all in the same spot. That's gonna be
Slump was there too. Yeah, that shit was crazy, bro. So many staples, like you said, so many staples. I remember texting Autumn. I was like, pull up to the after party. I didn't expect him to text back, but then he DM me. He's like, yo, I had to go, but it sounded lit. Like I didn't expect like Autumn to text me back. Me and Autumn ended up opening up for him, and the next year, like actually it was a few months later, like 4 months later, and I remember like showing him this DM because we ended up talking like backstage and shit, and he was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" Like just building connections, honestly. Yeah. What
about like best moments with like Ernie and Pax out there? Like, do you have like one thing that stands out among the rest?
Yes. Me, Ernie, and Pax, we was out in Melrose, and we didn't have no bread, bro. And Ernie was working at this club event type of organization. And they would just throw parties every day. So every day we out there, we just literally going to parties. And we didn't have no bread to keep taking Ubers. So I remember just being out on Melrose, and Ernie's like, bro, let's just take these e-bikes, these electronic bikes, and let's just ride to the party. So just experiencing LA on that level where you're just like on these bikes, just traveling out through LA. It don't feel like you're a tourist no more. Like you feel like you're really like a part of it. Like you're not in an Uber on some shit, and you're not like taking a train or like the, but even though that's probably cool too, but just being outside of a vehicle and just being on a bike and just traveling. I think we stopped by and passed like the American Horror Story House. I don't know if you're I don't know if you're familiar with Murder House. We passed that shit. We passed and rode through the Staples Center and like Chinatown, like their equivalent to how they got in New York. They have one out in LA too. And it was cool to experience LA on that personal level. And if in the future, like I would definitely go do that same thing again with some friends.
We gotta hit up LA at some point.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Locations out there?
Yes. We're gonna be lit out there.
Absolutely. Bro. So you had the song Wizard of Oz that you talked about. That recently hit 100,000 streams on Spotify. Mm-hmm. Was there a moment where like that song starts blowing up and now you're like, whoa, this is like becoming real? Like obviously at the shows you're like, in it, but did that song change anything in terms of like how you saw this? Were you like, hey, maybe this like really is gonna happen? Like what was that kind of like?
That song, like I said, like I explained, it was all organic traffic. Young Chris did end up reposting a song link from SoundCloud as we like started getting a friendship, he ended up reposting that song. And like I said, it's just bittersweet because this ended up hitting 100K last year in 2025. And I was like, this shit crazy. Like, it was really crazy. I was really grateful for everybody who streamed that song. But I do have a lot of personal history with the artist that was on the song. So, like, I can't help but be reminded of, like, the situation that happened with him.
Yeah.
But I am grateful for everybody who streamed that song. And I did, at that point, like, I don't know. I always thought it was possible to reach this milestone, but it's still a milestone. Like, even though you think you're going to reach this point, it's still surreal, like, hitting that milestone and be like, bro, this shit crazy. I remember showing my mom. She is fucking lit, bro. And like I said, like, I paid $300 for that verse. Good investment. I ended up ended up doubling what I made from that, from what I paid for it. So
that's awesome.
Definitely investing in stuff. If you're artists watching this, bro, cop them features, bro. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I didn't write this one down, but for all the kids out there who are maybe in high school, graduating high school, who want to make this their career, any lessons out in LA that you would tell them in terms of, either going to a major city or what to do with like the music? Like, what advice do you have for the younger generation?
Just get out there, honestly, because I couldn't plan for half the shit that happened to me to happen. I just went out there for myself and the opportunity zone and all the energy that I was just carrying around with me. Like, people see that, and just don't be scared to talk to people. Don't be scared to network with people. You may think that, or you may look at certain artists like above you. You don't have to look at nobody above you, but everybody on the same level. Some people do have egos. I'm not going to say some people don't, but just don't be afraid to talk to them because of their artists and what they have done in their career. Like, they're still human. They're still chopping it up with you. And a lot of people that I've met, they're really down to earth. And yeah, just go network. Just put yourself out there. Make a plan. Like, just find events to go to. Go to these events. And just expect things to may not go as you planned. A lot of things like I said, I haven't planned for, but the things that I didn't plan for ended up being the things that brought me closer to get to different events, meeting new people, and getting further in my career.
That's definitely true. I'm going to tell the story of the Baby Smook show because I have to.
Yeah, you got to, 100%.
I remember being in New York. I had 2 or 3 music videos under my belt. And I remember I saw the show Market Hotel for Baby Smook, who at the time I didn't know. I'd become a fan of his, but at the time I was like, who is this? But I was like, all right, let me go to the show. I remember I went and it was like, this show's been postponed or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm outside the door. I just see the sign. I was like, okay. I go to the postponed show. I remember I walked in there, my little Canon camera, and you and Hearts were performing. I didn't know you guys at the time. You 2 were performing.
That's good.
Something was wrong with my camera. I had to like fix the settings and whatnot. So I went and sat on the bench. And you had left your jacket on that bench. And you just came up to me. I remember you're like, yo, you do like videos and whatnot. I was like, oh yeah. You're like, oh, keep going with that. And I was like, yeah, I gotta definitely get your contact information and whatnot. And I remember a little while later, I looked up you and Hearts and Azra over there. And I met the 3 of you. I shot probably about 30 music videos of you 3 alone. So it's like, you never know. Like, I never could have expected that going to that show. When you put yourself in those like positions where things can happen, like, I don't think it's good to go in with the expectation that, you're going to find a career, exactly, but like, you never know what you'll find. So yeah, I think putting yourself in those positions is definitely important.
Because, bro, if I didn't leave my jacket right there,
I was going to say, if my camera wasn't screwed up, you didn't leave your jacket, like, it's like you can't plan for that.
You can't plan for that, bro. That's just shit that happens. And it's like, crazy. Just putting yourself out there. And then, like I said, if that didn't happen, we wouldn't be right here making this fucking video right now.
3 years ago. No, that's insane.
That is, whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like February 3 years ago.
What the fuck? And then the whole time, bro, the thing is so crazy. I don't know if I told you about this, but we low-key wasn't even supposed to be there because I ended up getting invited to open up for Famous Dex in LA.
Really? That was at the same time? Oh,
yes.
I never realized.
I didn't end up going. Check me out. I didn't end up going, and basically Hearts was gonna come with me, so I ended up just getting the opportunity to him because I had to work. So he ended up going there. The show gets canceled. So then, as to make up for the show getting canceled, the host people, they end up telling Hearts that he can go perform, open up for Baby Smooth at the Market Hotel in New York. What the fuck? So bro, open up for Famous Dex.
Yeah,
bro, we wouldn't even have went to that show to meet you.
Yeah, I wasn't like 100% sure that I was gonna go to that show. I was like, all right, let me just go to a show and like take some photos and meet some people maybe.
And you didn't even know the artist like that either. You just just go out there, bro.
Yeah,
like literally, what he did. Literally, just go out there.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So when was it that you met Hearts and Azrael and like Pax and Rocket and all them? And was it like music off the bat, or was it like you guys were friends first and then the music came later? Like, what was that like?
So music totally did not come first.
Okay.
So I met Hearts and Azure in school.
Okay.
I was going to E-Hall, Erasmus Hall. I was going to a school in there called YCD. And I remember I first met Hearts, and he didn't like me at first.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't like me at first because I guess he had like an ex-girlfriend, and like me and her were like close. She was like my first friend,
Okay.
but he wasn't fucking with that. He'll tell you if he was here, he'll tell you the same story. But as they split up or whatever, me and him became real cool, became close. And I remember we just used to talk about music, and I used to tell him that I'm gonna get like a studio he could pull up and we can record it. I was living in a motherfucking homeless shelter at the time, bro. So the whole time, like, he really couldn't come maybe, even if I had the shit, because we can't have visitors. But I remember just making that song, Dripper John, one day on the iPhone, and I basically was really lit about it. Like, I was really, like, happy, and I'm like, bro, I gotta share this with somebody. So we had Drippy Fam, and I ended up, well, we had the group chat called Drippy Fam, and it's a brotherhood. It's more than just like a group chat, obviously. Like, it's our brotherhood connection. I got invited to be in Drippy Fam after I moved from Delaware into New York. I was just posting like fit pics on the internet and shit, like Snapchat. I just get fly, and Drippy Fam really just about getting fly and just having a brotherhood, like in a safe space to like just grow with your friends and stuff like that. And that's where John, which is Drippy J at the time, and right now he goes by Rocket. You had Pax, his name was Drippy G. It had motherfucking Hearts in there. I ended up inviting Hearts in there because he was getting fly too. And it was like, bro, you gotta be in it. I think that was the first time where they didn't know somebody. Like, they knew me from living in Delaware, but they didn't know Hearts. So being in Drippy Fam, everybody just kind of learning how to be like talking to each other and communicating. And we just end up playing the game, bro. Yeah. Like, everybody just ended up playing the game. That's where it first started. It was not music at all. But the night that I made that song and sent it in the group chat, like, everything changed. Like, Rocket, he always he was just writing raps too. Yeah. And Hearts, like I said, he talked about making music. But he, everybody think you have to have a studio. So I feel like I introduced the format of making music, of not having to be in a recording studio. You can just do it on your phone. And it just sparked something in them. And then they started making music. And Pax, which was Drippy J at the time, he started making music too. And we just literally just sending music back and forth. Like, that's really how I started, just sending music back and forth to each other. We wasn't really making a lot of solo songs either. Like, I didn't know how to make a solo song by myself. So I just record a verse and then send it and somebody else do a verse. And yeah, it was just a brotherhood. And
so like 2018 or like?
Yes, this is November 2018. Okay. So right before Thanksgiving, that's when that happened. That's crazy. I ended up meeting Azriel though in school. He's seen me post. I didn't know what marketing or promo was. I just know I needed somebody to hear what we was making. So I remember dropping a song, our first song on Drippy Fam, like our SoundCloud, was Run. It's a song where me and Rocket are in. This is our first song we made. I ended up rapping on the beat, right? And I sent it in the group chat. He ended up rapping on the same beat and he ended up rapping on the same beat and sharing it in the group chat. I'm like, bro, we might as well put this together. And the song was just so hard, and we ended up dropping it. And I remember just waking up one day, the day after dropping, it had like 4,000 views, like organically. And these are people in Delaware listening to the music because Drippy Fam had clout. Yeah. And we just always used to just share our music on on Snapchat. That was really the platform. And I guess Azriel seen it that we was making music, and then he was just writing and shit. And I remember one day he just seen us doing this, and so in person one day he just came up to us, me and Hearts. He's like, bro, let me freestyle for y'all. So he'll tell you this too. He said, let me freestyle for y'all. So he just ended up trying to freestyle. He couldn't get the words out. He felt kind of like, damn, bro, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna put y'all on, like, just really have a good verse for y'all. He felt kind of bad about it. But I don't think that ever happened. And then in the future, I remember after I moved from LA back to New York to live with my with my mom, me and Azriel really started linking up. Ray, Hearts really Hearts and Azriel, I guess they were talking, and Hearts got Azriel to take music like seriously, on a serious level, and they really like pursue this. So as he's making music and I'm linking up, he plays me and shit, I'm like, bro, shit fire. So we just end up like really making music together. Yeah. And yeah, that's how Drippy Fam came about on the music side, and then that's how I met Hearts and Azriel.
That's insane. It's crazy how long ago that was. Must be a crazy trip down memory lane.
Bro, as I'm like answering the questions, it's just like teleport me back to that time period. And it's just like, I don't know, that shit is so free. Yeah. It's just so free. Like, I was just a teenager. I was like 16, like just making music.
It's crazy.
That shit fire.
To kind of jump into, more of the stuff that's going on today, your most recent project is Before World of Pink. Can you talk about creating that album and like what that process was like and like what the inspirations were for it?
Before World of Pink, I'm working on a project called World of Pink, and that's gonna drop this year. But at the time, I thought it was gonna drop sooner, so I just wanted something for my fans and my listeners to just listen to in the meantime before the album came out. And it was a last minute idea, low key. I made the whole album like in the span of a month, and I just remember just really locking in. I was really excited to make the songs. I just had started my YouTube channel for my beats page, just making beats live, and I had some good beats that I made. I think it was like only 2 that I used, but the rest of the album, I'm just cooking up the beat and then gonna go record on it that same day.
Real quick, is that YouTube Row Waves?
Yes.
ROE Waves. Go follow that.
Yeah, you plugging me in.
Of course.
That's facts. But I remember just having that energy. It just felt really good making that because I was really taking my creativity to the next level, because I always wanted to produce my own album. I never had a producer, bro. I think I had one producer like when I first started making music on those No Melody beats.
Yeah.
But like I never got locked in with a producer on like a personal level where we like fine tuning and create my sound. So this is the first time I got to experiment and find a sound and test my production and just seeing how far I can take it. So Before World of Pink, that album, I'm just really just trying stuff, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what sounds good. And vocally, I still love that album. Like that production on there, I just listened to it the other day. I'm like, bro, that shit hard for real. I know where I need to tweak it to get better as far as like the mixing and mastering and like the production. I know in like the lyrics, I know where I can sharpen up on stuff. Because I noticed some songs like Alien Language, for example, that song like is deep. It's like not surface level, but then a lot of the other songs are pretty surface level in lyrics, and I know where to take these certain lyrics when I'm talking about deep stuff in songs and just going into that world. And that's what Word of Pink is going to touch on more. It's just the personal moments that I can expand and make a whole song out of, and I can share it with the world.
I remember the first time I heard that album, we were shooting clips for it at Canarsie.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing Pink Friday for the first time, just being like, what, like the production was just like, that was something I had not heard from you before. And like I remember sitting down with headphones and being like, even to this day, like there's something about it that I just like, I can't describe in terms of the audio, but like it just, I feel like I haven't heard anything before. Like getting into producing, like what was that like? Because I know you were saying you kind of wanted to make your own beats, produce your own album, but like on a production level, like it really is kind of insane.
Thank you, bro. Production, like I said, I don't have a producer, so I feel like I have a really good taste, and in like sounds and like visuals. I just feel like I have really good taste, and if I'm thinking about it, a lot of stuff with producers, like I can only elaborate and explain how I want things to sound if I'm there, and a lot of stuff is online. Yeah. And like I like to just be in the studio, just record by myself, just be locked in my creativity, and I know I can't really, like I said, elaborate that to somebody else, and I didn't have the vocabulary to really explain like I do now. So I just know what sounds good and what I'm playing. So production, I can just, like I hear a certain instrument, like I'm going through instruments to put in a beat, and I'm like, I play the note, and I'm like, damn, that sounds good. So I'm just putting the shit in the beat. And I know with instruments now that sound good together, so that's why you got Before Word of Pink, a lot of it cohesive, and a lot of stuff makes sense. Absolutely. So just putting my taste musically into, I wouldn't say I have synesthesia, but like when I do like create stuff, I can like see like colors in a sense, but I also have a visionary mind when it comes to like films and production. So I can see certain scenes being made about certain beats playing, like certain certain like melodies playing. So when I'm playing the beats, I'm just putting different instruments, having these visions, and then you never really know how the song's gonna come out at the end. Like me freestyling, I usually just punch in, I don't really write, but I low-key punch in when it comes to making beats too. I don't know how the beat gonna come out at the end. And it's just cool, like you just making something and then seeing like how it turns out at the end. Like that's a feeling like no other, and that's true creativity, I feel like 100%.
Yeah. I feel like those skills really help in making like a cohesive album too, especially in an age where a lot of it is just, trying to make singles, and like you hear a lot of albums that are just, a collection of 20 songs as opposed to like a complete, project in itself.
For sure.
Like that, like Before World of Pink is definitely like
You think
one of
so?
those cohesive projects that like makes sense all the way through.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I can acknowledge that, be like, yeah, but then I know where I can improve and get better. So that's where Word of Pink, like you hear that, that's gonna be that sound like elevated and like feel like way more like wicked. Yes, like it's gonna be a lot of wickeds in there.
Already, like what you've shown me from that album was incredible. So I can't imagine what this next one's gonna sound like. But
Jeez, can't wait, brother.
can you talk about that song Alien Language? Because honestly, I think that was one of the best songs to come out of 2025 at any level of hip hop. Like, can you talk about? I feel like that song was definitely more personal.
Mm-hmm.
So can you share with us a little about like what made you want to write that song on like a deeper level?
I got you. So I didn't write that song. I remember just playing the beat and the emotion. Like I made the beat obviously, but like as I'm hearing it, I hear all these chords. I hear this guitar, and they hit like an emotional chord for me. And I'm not necessarily having the lyrics, but I feel the emotion and like the melody of how the beat sounds. And I just remember just as soon as I said the lyric, "Mom be a nigga ass like anime, like different." I just remember saying that, and I feel like I already knew where I'm gonna take it with the song emotionally.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know, like subconsciously, I'm still dealing with this like trauma of like domestic abuse. That's what the song's about, like domestic violence and just being a witness to domestic abuse and just seeing my brother and my mom have these like physical altercations and also like verbal altercations. And that's what the song's about, just having awareness for it, but also breaking out of that cycle and out of that loop and making a change. So when I have kids, I'm going to teach them different ways of like discipline and just I have the tools that I need so they don't have to go through the same thing I went through as a child and just seeing all this stuff happen. And it's not faulting, like I said in the song, like my mom did it, my grandma did to my mother, my mom did to my brother. And it's just noticing that it's a chain, that it didn't start my mom, it didn't start my grandma. They started way back then, and they just literally passing on what they know, and it's just being aware of that and not forcing them for that, and then just being aware and making that change so my kid, like I said, don't have to experience that when they get older.
That's powerful, man. I feel like I've working with like you and Hearts, Azrael, all these artists. Like I feel like I noticed one day like all of you had said at some point about music being therapeutic to you, like making music. Was making a song on that deeper level, did that like alleviate some of that, those feelings? Like, was that helpful to you at all? Like,
yeah, I actually feel I didn't really notice that, but it did. I didn't really think about the experience the same because that's how I would describe my sound.
Mm-hmm.
I would describe it as reflective and facing your conflicts and trauma like head on. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we can just throw it in the back of our heads and just pretend like it doesn't exist and excuse me, and try to escape from it. Like a lot of music that I hear is escapism. Like you're not really dealing with your problems. There's a whole bunch of things that's making the problem go, kind of normalizing it and kind of brushing it off. So that's how I would describe my sound as, in like just reflective, confronting the problems and transmuting it from something that can be ugly, it can be gross to look at, but is turning it, transmuting it into something beautiful and something that can be beneficial for you as a person. And I don't look at the song Alien Language. I mean, how do I explain it? When I look at that, the story in Alien Language, it's a real story. So when I look back at it now, I don't feel the same way that I felt about it before. I felt like I expressed myself in a way where I can get to that next step.
Yeah.
And that's what really therapy is, getting to that next step and realizing what you can do different. And it's a tool. And I know that I have a lot of experiences that are like that I can channel and put into my music now as well. I always knew I was going to make music on this type of level, like emotionally. And back then I don't know, you just like making music and you kind of just like, this isn't really the way I want to explain this.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the vocabulary and I wasn't mature enough emotionally. But now being 23 and just exploring myself as a person, going through all these things and just learning and living life, I've come to a point where I can express myself emotionally and convey these messages in a way where they sound good, like you hear them sonically, but it's also like I'm talking about it and you can just listen to it. And like I say in my YouTube videos, like I hope I connect with somebody that's going through something similar or has already faced and dealt with something similar. And my music brings it back up to the point where hopefully you can confront it and not feel alone and be encouraged to find that hope. I feel like my music gives people hope.
Yeah.
Like the music I'm making now.
Absolutely. I guess I'll kind of pivot into that with this new song Wicked, because that was one that I definitely relate to. I told you that. Mm-hmm. But where did that song kind of come from? Like, inspirations for that. I mean, we can kind of guess. Like, I feel like that song doesn't need much explaining. Like, I feel like a lot of people can just relate to it off the bat. But like,
yeah, it's one of the ones. I feel like the best music is like I like hearing like punchlines and like figurative language and just similes and metaphors. But a lot of times it's just cool to hear something that's really like direct. So in Wicked, I was just being direct as possible. Like you said, it doesn't need a lot of explanation. Like you can just hear it and you can hear like really what's going on like at the surface level. Not the surface level. It's at the surface level in the form of the way I'm explaining it. Yeah. But then I also like, obviously I'm an artist, so I'm gonna make it kind of more dramatic or whatever, just inflate it. But just being real with the people. The song is about realizing that you're in a loop and everybody, well, damn near everybody in the world, like the majority of the world is working. Like we're going to work every day, working upwards of 40 hours a week. I know you'd be working like double shifts sometimes. Like the song is just really about noticing what you're working for. Like it starts off kind of be like, I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of the way this is. I'm tired of not having enough time to spend with my family. Just realizing that it is wicked that we don't get a lot of time outside of work. And then at the end of the song, it's like, okay, this may be true, but I am working to get out of the situation. I know what I'm working for. Yeah. So it's like you may be working, but then if you got a goal that you put in mind, you can't forget that goal. Sometimes we can forget that goal and we be like, damn, I really don't want to go to work. And I a lot of times get inspired by my goals. And it's like, damn, I might not want to go to work, but if I do go to work, I can have money so I can go out to LA and go make these experiences and these connections. So it's just realizing what you're working for. And I remember I was working at a job. This is my most recent job. I was working at Uncommon Goods and I was just busting my ass, like doing everything that I needed to do. They had me in different departments. I was really flexible. And it was a temporary position. I thought I was gonna be turned into a full-time employee, but that didn't end up happening. So I made that song around the same time they let me go. Just like December, I think early January was when I finished the song. And the first thing when I was playing the beat, I was listening to the beat in my head. This was a beat that I made. And I remember the first word that came out was like, I'm tired of getting these jobs. I'm tired of working this hard. It's really because how I felt. Because I'm like, damn, I gotta go look for these jobs again. Yeah. Like I'm trying to lock in on my music, on my craft, and like really make a living on this. But as I'm recording, making a song, I recorded. You've been in my house, so I recorded my studio, which is the room. My mom came out the room and heard me say that. She's like, I know that's right. Like she related to the song. And then from there, like I knew like it's gonna be a song that people can relate to because my mom, I'm just echoing what people feel at the end of the day. Like I know a lot of people dealing with the same stuff. Yeah. I feel like it's really important to like tap into people's like pain. Like a lot of people are going through those jobs, but also point to like a way out and like getting through those things. So, it's really important. So. I feel like I couldn't make a Wicked without like addressing like a way out or like another way to look at it. That's why I feel like just give you another perspective and not stand in that dark time. Like it's just about transmutation. Yeah. And that's what keep it going, just like looking at it in a different way. Yeah, it's so important. So let's talk about Eternal Age a little bit. How did that kind of come about? I remember you made that group chat right after we shot 2024. And it like kind of blew up. I don't think we hit capacity on that like within 24 hours. I remember that. Whoa, like, had to make another group chat. Yeah. So where did that kind of like, where did the name come from? Where did like creating that group come from? What was kind of the inspiration behind that? That is another version of Eternal Age. How did I make that idea? I just felt like community was really needed, and community really helps people feel connected, and it was supposed to be a place where we can just share knowledge with each other, what we're learning. We can share back and forth. We can just throw events and really gather together and become something bigger. It's supposed to be something bigger than what we are. Like alone, like separately. And that's why I made that initial group chat. Like you said, we hit capacity, but it began to a point where the vision kind of became skewed and blurred, and some people was in there not even know what they were really in there for. Yeah. And I'm like, if you got this many people, the vision gonna get salt. It's gonna get watered down, bro. Yeah. So I ended up just like renaming it Eternal Age Community Chat or whatever the fuck. And then behind the scenes, we're gonna make like another group, but like with way less people, like a tight knit group. And it just made sense to me because I've always been in collectors, like from Jibby Fam. This started out as a brotherhood, but as we done music, we grew together, we learned together. And then me and Rocket, we was a duo, and we was making music. And then we became, like after we split, we came back together and we created Lost Files, still in a collective, in a group. And then Lost Files ended up we just end up moving and kind of like dispersing. So then I just end up making like, it's supposed to be like New York based, like Eternal Age really supposed to be New York based. And there's just some people from Lost Files, and then we met you along the way, and then we got Winter, a whole bunch of people in there now. And it's just about, it just makes sense to me. It's just about community going together and just really just helping each other.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. What are like your long-term goals for Eternal Age? Like, what do you want it to turn into? What do you want people to know Eternal Age for?
Mm-hmm.
What's the end game?
So Eternal Age, I would say, I want Eternal Age to become a production company.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. And the word eternal just means creating something that's timeless and can live on. Like, you can play it 100 years from now and it be like you made it yesterday. Or you can make something 100 years ago and it sounded like it was made in that time period. And I feel like that comes with intention, quality work, and care.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you make something timeless, man. Something that's relatable and that people can feel. And that's where that's really where Eternal Age come from. This care. The goals that I have to become a media production is just us in Eternal Age creating the best work that we can, adding a whole bunch of 1%, and that's like fine-tuning little details and just getting better and better and putting it out there. And I want that to be the way with music, whether it's beats, songs, or like what we're doing now, like this production right here. We're making visuals, making interviews, and we're just putting it out there for people to see. And I feel like we're gonna do it in a way where I don't want to like shit on like the current state of like music, but there's a lot of people out there that's not really putting care into stuff, and it's a lot of, and I can get skewed with monetary things.
Yeah. Like,
a lot of people don't have the passion for stuff, and they're doing it for the passion of like music, and I mean of like money, and that's cool too. But that just gets you so far. Like, you're not gonna go as far. Like, money only gets you but so far. You're gonna get to a point where you actually made the money.
Yeah. But
then you don't really love the music, so now you just suck doing something you don't really love. So it's just really about the care that you have for what you're doing.
For sure. All right, we're gonna get into a little speed round right now. These are the tough questions, so hope you're ready. Here we go.
Fuck.
All right, number one. If you were to switch genres of music, you'd like drop hip hop and go to another genre, which one would you pick and why?
Psychedelic rock.
Ooh, okay.
Psychedelic rock.
Yeah. You have to make a psychedelic rock song. That would be crazy.
Bro, I'm bringing that psychedelic rock. I'm bringing psychedelic rock and merging it with rap music. Yeah. That's what I'm doing right now. For Word of Pain. Like, I'm bringing that shit. Like, Tame Impala, bro. That's my biggest motherfucking inspiration, bro. Like, Tame Impala just fire. But yeah, if I had to switch, I'd go psychedelic rock.
That's a great answer. All right, dream collab. One dead artist and one living artist.
I already know what I'll say, low key. But right now, my favorite artist is Tame Impala, bro. Tame Impala, like, when I found out, like, he's playing the drums. Kevin Parker, he's singing songs. He's making the melodies. Yeah. He's mixing and mastering. He's doing all these things. And it's just like, you thought they was in a band all the time. Mm-hmm. This is one person doing this, bro. They're just in a band when they go perform. Yeah. So just him, like, the care, like I said, he makes timeless music, in my opinion, like eternal music, bro. Like, you can throw that on whenever. He just has a lot of care. And I feel like me and Kevin, we would make some fire shit, bro. That's my, like, all time. And then, obviously, I would say like Cardi and Uzi and stuff like that. Yeah. But right now, I would definitely say Tame Impala. And 2026, right now when you're watching this, for sure. And then Dead X.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, XXXTentacion, bro. He inspired the fuck out of me. Like, he was really one of them artists that is eternal as well. Like, he puts a lot of care, a lot of effort. You can hear it in his music. He's really emotional, really vulnerable. Yeah. And me and him make some fire shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you had any superpower, what would it be?
I would say teleportation.
Okay, yeah.
Because I travel too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm outside every day.
We got a snowstorm out here right now. Teleporting would be useful.
We got a snowstorm out here.
Another one.
I don't got a jacket on. I'm just saying, like, but I need to be where I need to be fast. Yeah. I would. 100%. People be like, it's all about the destination. I mean, it's all about the journey and like the destination.
Out with the NTA fare.
Hell no, they changed this shit to $3 too. Nah, bro. Cut the bro. You spend probably a lot of you probably spend maybe upwards of 10-15% of your life just traveling. Yeah. Sometimes it can be really fun and life changing, whatever. But like, if I can just be where I want to be and snap a finger or whatever, I'm going, bro. That's fair. And I'm talking about like the jumper teleportation. Yeah. You ever watch that movie? Yeah. Like, they look at the picture and they be where they at. Yep. Yeah.
First job.
I had a lot of
on the topic of Wicked.
That's true. I had a lot of first jobs, low key. Like, I had a job when I turned 18. I had my first job like ever, and then first job in high school. But my very first job, I was living in Salisbury, Maryland, and the groundskeeper around there, he basically hired me to go pick up like the litter, go sweep and go around the complex and just making sure the cul-de-sac looking nice and neat or whatever. He was late paying me, bro. A lot of times I would be working and he'd have paid me for months. I'm like, damn, fuck this shit. I'm fucking not doing it no more.
Yeah. Favorite breakfast cereal?
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, there we go.
Frosted Flakes smack, like, for sure.
Good. Yeah. Favorite food?
I think it'll always be pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza. There's a spot that me and... What do you say?
Especially in New York.
Yeah. There's a spot me and my partner go to. It's called Rosie's Pizza. I think it's close to here, actually. It's really close to here. And they have this pizza called Do You Burger Me? They put like basically like cheeseburger.
Oh, wow.
Like pizza, like some pickles and some 5 sauce, bro. Fire.
That's crazy.
That's good. Pizza.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
There we go.
Don't go on.
Favorite fictional character?
I had to say Finn.
Finn?
Okay. Yeah, me and Finn, I feel like we have a lot of similarities to each other. He just a cool guy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he cool and he really dedicated and he has a conviction. Like whatever he set his mind up to, he's gonna accomplish. But second for me, I had to say Rick Sanchez.
Okay.
I feel like I have a little bit of Rick in me, and he just says he literally keeps it real. He says what's on his mind. He's smart as fuck. He can do anything he wants. Like, he's fine, bro.
Nice.
For sure.
Yeah, it's fine. 100 iStormos versus 1 gorilla. Who wins?
The iStormo, we're gonna find a way.
Yeah.
We're gonna find a way. I feel like I'm pretty smart, and I feel like I can outmaneuver a gorilla. Not in hand-to-hand combat, but like I'm Rick on some shit. Like, we're gonna make some gadgets. We're gonna get right.
Maybe teleporting around too.
What? Yeah, the gorilla don't stand a chance.
There you go. Do you think aliens exist?
Yeah. For us to just think that we're the only planet, we may be the only planet in our solar system that has and produced life, but outside of the solar system, we have a galaxy. And then outside of our galaxy, we have infinite galaxies. Yeah. So for us to think we're the only planet that produces life, it's kind of crazy to me. Yeah. And we definitely have aliens. 100%.
I agree. I think it's like 250 million solar systems in our galaxy, and it's like maybe billions of galaxies or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
We haven't explored anything. We have no idea.
And it's mad suns. Like, we're like, think about it. Like, we're the closest planet. Well, not the closest planet, but we're a planet that is close enough to the sun to actually produce life.
Yeah.
There's other planets with suns as well that are probably in the same proximity to produce life too, and probably have the same similar conditions to produce their own type of humans. Like, I'm just saying, bro. There's definitely.
We should do a whole other interview just off of that question. We can go for a long time.
Bro, we can go deep.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right, so some wrap up questions. What's next for you musically and like in life in general?
Next for me musically, dropping Or the Pink. But until then, we just gonna keep dropping singles, 100%. You can definitely catch up. You can watch out for a single. I'm trying to drop at least 1 in a month. I could drop 2, but I feel like moving on from songs too fast is a thing. I like the song to sit there for a little bit for people to actually hear it and have a chance to not feel like, oh, let's move. We gotta move on to the next one just because they're like trying to have you sit with it. But Word of Pink is coming out. Hopefully, you're seeing this probably like in March. Hopefully, it's gonna come out around summertime, like July, August, for sure. And then in life, me and my partner, me and her, we're really just trying to elevate our life so we can do this and do creative stuff more often. And that starts with getting our space. So we're trying to get move out the crib, get a house, get a car, just shit or apartment, shit like that.
You got a big year coming up. That's gonna be good.
I'm trying to do all that in this year, 100%.
Any questions I didn't ask or anything you want the fans to know?
I just wish the interview was longer, but besides that,
we'll do number 2 at some point. We'll do interview number 2 at some point.
Yeah, we gotta do interview 2.
Yeah, and after Will the Pink.
Yes, that'd be fire. I don't have any questions that I wish you asked. I think that's pretty much everything, bro. Pretty much wrapped it up for now. We're gonna have another interview soon, and I want my fans to know that just get out there, bro. Really just put that care, that passion. I know you got it. Everybody feel them lazy days sometimes, but if you consistently lazy, you're just gonna turn to a lazy person. If you're consistently hardworking, that's the person you're gonna be, and just keep up with your mental health. Like, this shit, like, you have a life outside of this. That's just, I remember you asked me that one question. You said, is there something that I wish I knew back then? Yeah. I would definitely say, there's multiple things. I would say production. Like I wish I was a producer back then. Because like I was making fire beats my first year. Like imagine where I'd be at now. But then it's mentally, I remember just putting all my money into doing music and going out and doing all this like LA stuff. And I end up having my life go down, and I just end up being in debt about like being in debt because of music and just having to work off and pay off this debt. So I kind of neglected my life side, and then just put everything to the music. So it's all about finding balance. So you don't have to, if you miss certain days to like post just because you have to spend time with your family, don't feel bad about that, bro. Like go spend time with your family, because we only here for I wouldn't say a little bit of time, but you know, that's just the phrase. We only here for a certain amount of time. So just treasure those moments that you have outside of music. Don't neglect your life. And also on this side of things, just work hard and don't be lazy. 100%.
Yeah, that's fine. Where can people find you?
I can find me everywhere at iStormo. Instagram is I_Stormo.
There we go. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
Great
you.
interview.
Good job.
Soon. World of Pink this summer. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting these jobs, tired of working this hard. I'm tired of waking up daily, just trying to eat my odds. Yeah, it's a life it get wicked, just like the Wizard of Oz. But then in life is terrific, looking at me like I'm lost. I'm tired.